All right, thank you all for coming. This is just our regular administration training that we have to do for each administration for STAR. So this one will be pretty short because we've been doing this for the longest, which is good. But I wanted to go over pertinent points just to make sure the testing goes smooth. From what I've understood from Ms. Sin last week, that she has to start taking up laptops pretty soon. So pretty much immediately after testing is done, she's taking laptops. So I'm going to get K through 2 to start testing while 3rd through 5th are testing this week so that everybody's pretty quiet and we can get as much done, and then 3rd through 5th will pick up and do start testing next week. The goal is to have everybody finish testing by the 18th. 1, because you still got to do your labs. 2, you can just get it out the way, and 3, because the laptops are supposed to be getting taken up. So the window is May 10th through the 24th, but again, I would like for everyone ultimately to be done by the 18th. And I gave you a copy of the test schedule. You all, it really doesn't applicable. The top part is not really applicable as far as oral admin or 852 because your kids already just take start reading and math. But just so you'll know what you're supposed to administer to your class. Technical reminder, please make sure that the kids are hard shutting down, not just pressing the button and then when you see it saying shut down, close it, because if they close it while it's saying shut down, it's going to stay on. So make sure that the screen goes completely black and powered off before they actually close it. In addition to that, if you have any kids who are moving in and out of your class to be tested, have to do another hard shutdown, turn back on the hard shutdown again, so they'll pick up your modem port that's nearest to you. So if some kids they get pull out for small groups, we always make sure wherever they're moving to do a hard reset. Okay? Any other technical issues that you have during testing? Like sometimes this has not happened this year, but just in case like some kind of error with the computer or the testing itself, it may get a smiley face, or if their laptop just shuts down on them, just give me a call, let me know so I can check in the STAR record book to make sure it's giving me a finish by date. That's letting me know that the test is incomplete and it's paused. Because if I don't see that, I need to let Sharissa know so that she can go in and reach out to Renaissance and see if there's any way to reset it. Of course, we know the purpose of our STAR assessment. We've been doing this for a while. Placement, universal trainer, predictive of how they're going to do it at the end of the year, tracking their mastery and those kind of things, and intervention. So those are purposes of STAR testing. Of course, we know this is what it looks like for the kids. I always do color coded for the younger ones or the ones who try to rush it. Just tell them what color they're supposed to click. It's totally up to you. You know your students better than I do. This is, of course, the way the screen looks for both of us. It's still 27 questions on early literacy. Doesn't apply to 3rd grade. 34 questions for reading, and 34 for math. The only ones that get oral admin for math are those who have IEPs for it. And I will go out to the system according to the list that I had from the previous STAR test and from the state testing to see who gets oral admin so I can make sure it's on there. Because I'm not sure if it turns off with every administration when they close it out. So I just need to check and make sure that it stays on. Do you all have any new students that have come from a totally different district between administrations? So they weren't here to take the 1-to-1 with us? They came from a totally different district?
State.
Okay, so this may apply to those students where they may get their practice questions. So if they've never taken STAR before anywhere else, or they haven't taken STAR, or they took STAR somewhere and hadn't taken it in the last 180 days, it's going to automatically default and give them those few practice questions at the beginning. So just make sure they get through it. I didn't have to answer 2 to 3 practice questions correctly, and then they'll take them into the test. So they'll tell them that they finished, congratulations, you finished the test. They could go K, and then it should take them into the regular test. Okay? And this is just showing how the testing works. It starts them out on the easiest level of 3rd grade, and it continues to push them up until they get to a point where they can't answer questions, and it just drops them down a little. Continues to try to push them back up, drops them down until it starts to level them out to where they approximately are answering their questions correctly, and that's how they get that scale score. All right, this doesn't apply to you guys because all your kids are, unless they have an IEP, will not have audio. The time limits haven't changed unless they have an IEP. They get extended time. So they'll get extended time 3 times the amount of time for STAR reading and 2 times the amount of time for STAR math if they have an IEP that is for extended time. What happens during the test when the kids are taking the test, this clock will pop up. It pops up 15 seconds before it's going to click to the next question. So if you monitor your kids, you know if they have a clock, just let them know. Or you can let them know beforehand. You're going to see a little clock pop up. Just know you only have about 15 more seconds. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, or something. Make the best choice you can. Because again, I don't know when it flips over when the kid doesn't have a chance to answer the question, whether or not the computer is thinking that they don't know it and drops them down. So I don't know if it counts against them or not. So they need to try to answer. Try to put some kind of answer there. Monitor password is still this word, all lowercase. Please don't type it in front of the kids because some of your kids are really smart and copy your keystrokes. Or some teachers have given the password to the children, and that's not a good thing either because they can go in and take the test multiple times, not realizing it's messing up their skill score. If it's not the other one is not deactivated. So, this is the biggest thing that I wanted to make sure the teachers are completely clear on the difference between stopping the test and resuming the test later. Stopping will only happen few and far between. We have a fire drill, and we don't have time to not a fire drill. If we have a child who gets immediately sick, and we don't know if they're going to come right back, I would say stop the test and just let them take it on another day and start over on the test. Or there's some kind of technical difficulty where it interrupted the test. And we'll show you, and I'll show you the interruption screen in a minute. But anytime we're taking a break, related arts or recess, and related arts recess lunch, and they're still in the midst of taking the test, when they click resume later, please monitor and make sure they click resume later. Because if they click stop test and you put in the monitor password and stop test, it's going to start over. So we want to make sure that they hit resume later. When they click resume later, the biggest important thing to make sure you do is please put in the monitor password. Because I've had some instances where teachers have called me and said, I know that they click pause, but it has moved them on to the end of the test. The reason why is because when they click resume later, if the teacher does not put in the password and click stop test, it's not going to pause it. It's going to continue to run. That's what's happening. So please make sure that you put in the password, and when they come back and click their mouse, this screen will pop up again, ask for the password again, and instead of it saying stop, it'll say resume. Okay. So yeah. They need to stop test on this. It's a stop test button on their screen. And then you need to monitor and make sure that they're hitting resume later. Tell them to hit the first button with the big R. Resume later. And then tell them don't touch anything else. They ain't be able to go no further anyway because they won't have the password. And you just go around and put in the password and click stop test. That will pause them. And then when they come back, when they hit the mouse, this same screen will come up. Instead of saying stop, it'll say resume. You put the password back in and hit resume, and then it'll pick up where they left off. Okay. Same sort of thing with the resume of an uninterrupted test. This will happen if you have a child, let's just forsake Mr. Chezzy. If he decides that he just don't want to take the test that day and he's just acting up, that's when it's, okay, let's go ahead and stop his test. And he can just, we can just stop the test and pause it, and he can just take it at a different time, or stop it and complete it. He can start over on another day, or interrupt the test, one that the student has lost connection. Oh, my battery died and it went dead. It should automatically pause them so that when they go back in, it'll give them that resume test screen that says you have a test to finish, and you put in the password and click start, and it should pick them up where they left off. That's what
the battery died?
Yeah, if it's a power outage, it should automatically pause them. Okay.